Welcome to the Weird and the Weary. I'm Jason. With me, as always, is Kevin.
Hello.
And Lee Noble.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, end of the week. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Almost a weekend.
Have you learned any new skills?
Yes, a few.
A few?
Yeah, from you.
From me?
Oh, my
goodness.
Wow.
Cool.
Ableton.
Oh, teaching you...
Focusrite, new equipment.
Some new equipment.
Oh, God. You guys are practicing new equipment skills when I'm not around.
Well, you have a lot of good things to do too.
Thank you.
You're young. We need you to live.
Okay.
Because you need to take care of us when we get older.
Oh.
We gave you that big list of movies.
Yeah. About those.
About the movies?
Yeah.
The movies about the movies?
You lost the list?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
Bad news.
I remembered everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I have it. But, sometimes you learn skills by other means, other miraculous means. And today we're gonna talk about sometimes the brain takes different pathways when the brain receives some damage in certain ways, and sometimes similar to like say when you're driving down the road and you know where you're going, and then you look around and you're like, well, where the hell am I? I've never been here, and then you're wait, I'm good.
Like an autopilot kind of thing. And...
Yeah, has that ever happened to you, like just driving? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It happened to me today. I was driving down and I'm coming home and just I'm in my head so much there, so deep that I actually forgot where I was driving. Like I knew where I was going, but I forgot what road I was on.
Yeah, I've done that too.
But I was on my street.
Oh, okay.
That's the funny part. It's like, I'm on my street, but...
Hopefully you didn't overshoot your turn.
Oh, no, I didn't overshoot.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's always a stop sign to remind me.
There's always something there to remind you.
That's right.
It's
always a
stop sign.
landmark. I like having landmarks for travel.
Well, this happened once to Dr. Sherman Hershfield, who was confused, and he woke up to find himself in his car somewhere between his Beverly Hills apartment and his San Fernando Valley office. He was having some blackout problems before. Would just kind of wake up in strange places, but this one he was driving and blacked out.
That's a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah,
way dangerous.
So he decided it's time to act on that and get that checked out. Because that was pretty bad. He could have killed himself and hurt other people.
Yeah.
So Hershfield, he's in his 50s then. He was athletic. He ran 6 miles a day. He's vegetarian. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He
sounds like such a square.
He's a total California doctor.
My God.
Nobody smokes California. Except for the weed.
Right.
The weed's okay.
Lots of weed.
Yeah.
That's the source of the smog.
I don't even think Dr. Hershfield smoked the weed. He was a pretty straight-laced guy.
He's an L7 weed.
No, sir. Saul, I do not mess with the cannabis.
Right. Well, I mean, his philosophy was if he's going to practice medicine and help people get well, he has to lead a lifestyle that's clean also.
Got to lead by example.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
No, he probably smoked it once. It was just really bad shit. He was just got from bad shit. He needs good shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. His background really didn't call for any of that. He had a doctor for a father. He had a pianist mother, professional pianist, and really just kind of followed suit with his dad's lifestyle. And really the most he read were medical journals. He didn't really, dive into anything deeper than that.
No fiction or anything exciting.
No. No, all nonfiction, all medical journals, all guts, stuff like that.
I have this tabula and anomicaticae. I think I totally just butchered that.
No, that's probably definitely how it's
That's-
pronounced.
No, but it's like tabula
That's how you say it.
anatomica. Anatomica. Yeah,
That
something
sounds
like
true.
It's an
Is that like a
anatomy
medical book? Yeah.
Why do you keep looking
Anatomy
at your
book.
lap when you say that? That's weird.
I have to do. You have to do it in a dramatic way. The tabula.
I looked at your lap when you said it that way. I understand now.
Yeah.
But thinking the blackouts could be related to stress, he worked as he worked at the San Fernando Community Hospital and helped people with brain injuries walk again. So he's familiar with problems with the brain, and he also had his own private practice about 73 miles away from the hospital. So he would work generally like 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day, and his private practice did non-surgical spinal therapies. So, yeah, that was his life. He was very dedicated to his work, and it actually ended his first marriage.
Yeah, I believe it if he's gone 21 hours a day.
Yeah. I mean, they called him Dr. Columbo because he would just, one more thing, and then he'd be asleep in the lounge. Because Columbo, I don't know if you've ever seen Columbo, Kevin.
No, this is...
I am familiar.
Right, and as am I. It was an actor. His actor name was Peter Falk. Little Italian guy. He had the coat, your little private eye. He had a glass eye.
Yeah.
And like Sandy Duncan. And
Oh, Sandy.
I mean, if we're going way back, let's talk. She's great.
Let's not go back too far now. Let's go back to Homeboy.
But Peter Falk, he was a detective. So throughout the show, the 1 hour, whodunit show, he would his famous thing was he'd question, somebody, the guy, because you knew who did it, you saw how it happened, and he'd just be like, "Okay, that's all I got." And he'd turn around and he'd be like, "Oh, wait, there's one more thing."
Oh, and that's when he drops the bombshell.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Okay.
Always.
Right. It was Kojak pulling the sucker out of his mouth. It was Peter Falk, Columbo saying, "Hey, there's one more thing." So, yeah, that was Dr. Hershfield. He had to do his one more thing. He wanted to help these people. He's very, very dedicated.
And some people are like, "Listen, we can't open them back up. Sorry, guy. Not open them back
Yeah,
up.
no.
One more thing.
One more thing.
No.
I left my watch in there. So he started having more blackouts, and eventually he had a grand mal seizure, which hospitalized him. He's about 6'4". He's a big guy, thrashing around in the ambulance, and
It's pretty intimidating for a grandma seizure.
oh, right. Well, not grandma seizure, grand mal, M-A-L.
Okay.
Grandma sees. Oh, Lord, look, I'm about to fall. Ooh.
I just assume that means he's stealing grandmas out there. I don't know.
Right. That's the one where your body has fits and uncontrollable fits and
candy falls out of your pockets.
red like big Werther's Originals,
Yeah, those
mostly
hard candies.
butterscotch, and the blue ones you think are raspberry, but they're peppermint.
Those
the
little,
cough drops.
Little like raspberry, strawberry, little red
Oh yeah,
candies.
those things. Yeah, with like the goop in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, those are horrible.
Stick to your teeth for like hours.
If you could if you could take the wrapper off of those things because they're usually
double wrapped.
coated in the
Yeah, you just eat
sugar,
the whole thing.
or they just bloom sugar out.
Weren't they double wrapped? I thought there was like another wrapper inside.
Oh, the strawberries, yeah. They needed that because they would overtake the single wrapper and then form a colony. And you have a Petri dish and your candy dish.
One of us.
Strawberry! Well, he had an MRI, and they had suspected that he might have contracted AIDS from pricking himself with a dirty needle, because this happened in the 80s, I forgot to mention.
Oh. Sure, back in the 80s, everybody was pretty spooked by AIDS, right?
Oh, yeah, because nobody knew what it was.
Yeah.
People were dying. They
Right.
they blamed homosexuals for carrying it, and
Sure.
they were the only ones who had it, and then it took a long time for them to realize what it was and how it was contracted, and how much filthy blood was out there that people were getting in transfusions, because that's where a lot of it was coming from also.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he didn't have any AIDS. He had He had this is I'm going to butcher this one. It was antiphospholipid syndrome, which he had like clusters of small strokes in areas of his brain, and the syndrome made his immune system produce antibodies, and his blood would clot, and it was thicker and it would clot faster than normal. And if he was going to have one of those clots go in his bloodstream and go to his brain and kill him.
Gotcha.
Damn, that's a mouthful. Antiphospholipid.
Yeah, that's a tough. Yeah, I told you I was gonna chew on it. So.
All right. Well, I've got a new name for my penis.
Antiphospholipid.
That's a mouthful.
That's why I call it antipopophalipsis.
Baby. He got onto a series of blood thinners, and he had the no driving order because of the blackouts and the seizures.
That's probably for the best.
Sure. And he was told to, he was still fit to practice, which was great, you know? I mean, come on, you can't take everything away from this guy.
Right, that seems to be the only thing he really likes to do.
Right. But the stroke, these strokes, after the seizure, it left him with some speech impediments. He had a stutter. He had some slurs. So it was difficult for him to communicate, especially being a doctor. You know, you have to be able to communicate, obviously.
Right.
And people were noticing, though, that everything he was saying was ending in a couplet. Like in the Atlantic article, they say specifically, now I have to take the bus, and it makes me want to cuss. Yeah, that's what he had said about the situation.
And the people in the faculty room are like, oh.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going. So he went from regular doctor to Dr. Seuss.
Well, no, he could, because Dr. Seuss was still around then. This is in the 80s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was still alive.
He
was still Dr. Hershfield.
Dr. Tooth.
Dr. Couplet. So, yeah, he started writing poetry, started reading more poetry, and like I said earlier, his background didn't call for this. You know, it was really kind of a bland, cut and dry upbringing. You know, did his schooling, was a doctor. He was always going to be a doctor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But now he's reading poetry. He's writing poetry. He's sharing his poetry pretty freely.
Sounds like a dirty hippie.
And he's speaking in rhyme all the time. He tried to continue his work, though, despite all this. These changes, because his attitude was a little bit different too. He was more open, more spiritual. He wanted to share his words now. It was kind of a different doctor all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's sort of a near-death experience. Going to
Wait
change
a
your
minute.
viewpoint.
Are you talking about regarding Henry?
Ritz crackers, right? Yeah, no, he didn't get shot. Life shot him, and it changed him. It changed him in a way to, where he was actually enjoying something that he never thought he would. Reading poetry and writing poetry, and the rhyming actually made his stutter go away. So when he rhymed, he could speak clearly. He didn't slur. He didn't stutter. He felt normal when he did the rhyming.
Huh.
It was therapeutic eventually.
Did he do the rhyming on purpose? Like he wasn't like accidentally just all of a sudden speaking rhymes all the time, right?
No, after the stroke, his brain would just constantly rhyme everything. That's all so everything he said would be a rhyme.
That is.
Just, it'd be a couplet of the first words. Like I said, bus, cuss.
Yeah.
So.
What a sick little superpower.
Right.
Could you sit here and tell me how long you've been sick? Here, I'm going to give you some numbers. Why don't you go and pick?
But he did try to continue his work, and he did have quite a few obstacles that went along with that. In the 70s, there was a lot of malpractice suits.
Everybody's just sued him all the time.
Right.
I'm sure he's probably an easy target, but remember that doctor that wouldn't stop rhyming at me?
Yeah, that guy. He made me cry. That guy. But of course, the backlash of that was that the premiums went up for his liability insurance by about 3,000%, 300% rather. So it went up from like $840 to about $3,400.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what the hospital would have had to pay?
That's what he would have had to pay for his liability insurance.
Oh.
So that right there, I mean, that's giant. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is the liability
It's
right there.
It's almost $4,000 a month.
Right, to keep himself covered, from 800 to 4,000 because of all these lawsuits that happen, these frivolous lawsuits that happen. Mm-hmm. And this shit didn't stop, these stupid lawsuits, because you still kind of see them now, but not as much. But into the early 2000s, you were seeing the on-the-job stress infomercials, do you have repetitive on-the-job stress? You could sue your employer because of that. Do you type too fucking much? Oh, my God. Get some fucking posture. No, you don't need it. You're just going to sue. That's really what it... Yeah, there's so many of these commercials, and then when it became a law that you couldn't sue your employer for on-the-job stress, they would make another term up. Mm. And, so this shit became class action instead of one-to-one on the doctor, doctor to patient. It became class action, so they'd gather a whole bunch of people. Oh, yeah, my arm hurts from typing at my job. And they'd get a whole bunch of people, and then they'd sue. And most of the time they'd either win or hold out.
I really missed out on a lot of cool stuff.
Right. Yeah.
All I get now is the opportunity to sue for mesothelioma.
Right. And you could probably do that, at your office. Just scrape some of the wall off, and I'm sure there's some in there.
Yeah, just snort it.
Oh, perfect.
Or quick.
At my home, the shingles outside are asbestos still. So if you want one, just take it off, crush it up in a blender. And
yeah.
So because of this hike in liability insurance, he quit working all by emergency cases and took a fish fry job in Thousand Oaks for about $2 an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he just did
$2.
$2 an hour. This is in the 80s, remember. Plus he was doing the emergency cases.
Was there no minimum wage in the 80s?
I believe that's close to what it was. Or, there was a minimum wage.
Damn, $2 an hour. That was what, 82?
83, 84? No, 82. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, my God.
No. Yeah, it was around that time. He eventually did return to medicine, but the partner he teamed up with started abusing drugs. Ruining a promising surgery career for that gentleman.
Just the other guy started doing drugs.
The other guy,
I thought you were saying
Dr.
they teamed
Hershfield.
up to start doing drugs.
No. They
Let's team up and do drugs together. Yay!
They opened a practice together, and his partner started to abuse drugs.
Gotcha.
And eventually, wasn't a doctor anymore.
Well, that'll happen.
Generally. So in '87, he filed for bankruptcy. And then a few years later, he took a medical position at a rehab center where he came up for ideas for pets in the hospice. And he was kind of deemed odd. So they didn't really get along. It wasn't a long-lived position.
Sure, I guess sounds like a weirdo.
Right, but now you see it today.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say he was just ahead of his time.
Sure.
People who always get hit with that, and it's really, forward-thinking stuff, people always say, no, you're crazy.
Right. And all this time, you got to remember, he's still doing the rhymes.
Yeah, this guy's just rhyming about my dog. You won't leave me alone.
Right. He wants to help people with animals. He wants to give you some poems. So he left that position, and he devoted some time, actually most of his time, to the Buddhists in the area. And that's where he met his second wife. And he started taking the rhyming skills on the road.
Ooh.
Started shouting his poetry after re-embracing his Jewish heritage as well. Started not spitting any poetry. He's just reading poetry on the bus. He's yelling poetry on the bus.
No,
actually.
this is poetry he wrote.
This is Holocaust poetry that he wrote.
Holocaust poetry.
Right.
That sounds wildly uncomfortable to be anyone else on that bus.
Right. He was getting either this guy's crazy, some people would listen, some people would leave,
Yeah.
but it was, again, this was really therapeutic for him because it made him feel normal.
Sure.
He enjoyed what he was doing. He felt that he needed to spread this kind of message, which is fine. And he changed his nature to more spiritual, but he always seemed like that kind of a nice guy all along. He's always trying to help people. He's
right, one way or another.
Right. So one day, a jewelry vendor on the sidewalk heard him rapping at the bus stop, or not rapping, he was just doing poetry at the bus stop, and he told him to go to Lemaire Park. And he had never heard of Lemaire Park. Lemaire Park's it's in South Central Los Angeles.
Oh, no wonder he hadn't.
Right, in the Crenshaw area. So what did he do? He took a bus to the Baldwin Hills area. Now remember, he's a doctor. He's dressed in loafers, shiny loafers, a suit. This is how he dresses. So
all right, so
he didn't want to look like a homeless guy, of course.
Right. Well, that's what I was picturing until you.
Right. Okay.
It just sounds like some crazy homeless guy on the bus just shouting poetry.
No, it's just a well-dressed man.
Oh, that makes it
crazily
better.
shouting poetry. Apparently. That's
Yeah, as long as you're fashionable.
Mommy,
no problem.
Mommy, his shoe is split open at the top. His toes look like weird tongues.
That's because you spit so much game, son.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, he took a bus to the Baldwin Hills area. He found Lemaire Park. And Lemaire Park, it's been an epicenter for African-American culture in Los Angeles. Miles Davis, Ray Charles, Richard Pryor, just to name a few, they all lived within minutes of the area.
Wow.
So, it was very diverse, very rich in culture and influence. And he made his way there. And he found this place called the Chaos Network. It was a media production center that was established in '84. And they started doing some open mic sessions called Project Blowed. Project Blowed.
Blowed?
I mean, this is '84, so rap vernacular was a little different, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we did it, I do bring up the Fat Boys a lot. And
Fat Boys.
I can't do the noise, though. I can't do the... What is it? I'll pass out.
I just did.
So he noticed like rap battles that were breaking out outside. There's people having little dance offs, but they're also kind of eyeing him like, what's this big tall white guy doing here?
Yo, what the fuck is this all about, man? Why this bitch up in here? Yo. Just keep an eye on him.
Right. I mean, you think he's a cop, probably,
Narcan.
Right.
Yeah.
What the fuck's this old white guy doing here? So he goes up to the door, and he said he wanted to say some words, and they asked him what his name was. And this was after a little kind of up and down look by the door guy, like, the fuck? And he said his name's Dr. Rapp.
What'd you just say?
Dr. Rapp. I'm Dr. Rapp, and I'm here to clap. No, he didn't say that.
I'm Dr. Rapp, and I'm here to bring the boom bap.
And contracted the clap.
So Dr. Hershfield, now Dr. Rapp, gets on the stage. DJ asks him what his backing music is, and he hands him a cassette tape of Chopin. And piano music starts filling the room, and regulars in the audience, they call them Bloatians. They start to look at each other. Are you still a Bloatian? Are you a Bloatian? I don't know. I'm not a Bloatian anymore. Fuck this. I'm out.
I've been known to bloat.
So yeah, they're all going, I don't know what the Chopin piece was, but I don't know how many beats you can get out of the beginning of most of those. So yeah, they're just trying to catch a beat to it, catch a beat to Chopin, and someone just was like, "Get rid of the music. Let's hear what you got to say." And this is what he wrote. God, this is a tough thing to write. The feeling I got in my heart tonight, just to think of the Holocaust, so deep and sadly blue, and still so many people don't think it's true. Wow.
That's deep.
Nope. They didn't even get that.
No snaps.
It was a lot of crickets.
And usually, what do?
They boo. They boo and they
Usually.
chant him off the stage if you like slip up or kind of mess up a line or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're out. It's like the Apollo. They're gonna get the fucking crook on you, and they don't have a crook there, but yeah, they're gonna yell at you and get you off. But they didn't do that to him out of respect because he's an older guy.
Right.
A lot of people thought he was there as kind of like a spy, like some kind of corporate spy, like trying to see what was going on, or even like a undercover kind of weird thing.
Yeah, very suspicious.
But yeah, he read a poem. He didn't rap because he doesn't know what rap is. He's a 60-year-old man who doesn't know what rap is. He listens to classical music. He had Chopin cassette on him.
When you say rap, do you mean aluminum or plastic?
Exactly. Reynolds?
So what?
I got Reynolds.
Or he'd say tin foil. He's that old.
You need tinfoil, boy?
So what you're trying to tell me is he falsified his PhD in rap.
He did.
He was no doctor of rap at all.
On the spot, he did, though, yeah. He totally gave himself a degree on the spot right at the door. He's like, yeah, I'm Dr. Rap.
He didn't have a PhD.
That ain't no crap.
He just had BS.
I'm Dr. Rap with a PhD. That's no crap.
Yeah, so, that wasn't a really good start for Dr. Rap.
I mean, at least he didn't get booed off. Could have been worse.
No, he didn't. He didn't get booed off. People were kind of confused what was going on. But in a true, Rocky montage event.
Is this a joke right now?
Pretty much, yeah. Look at this guy in the Armani shit. What the fuck? Took a bus here. The hell? Reading. I mean, I don't think the Holocaust is fake, but shit, I wasn't here to hear that. I was here to hear some rap,
This motherfucker actually had pennies and his penny loafers in the window.
And they were shiny. They were shiny.
I think they just came off the mint.
They were this year's penny.
Got next year's pennies. Who is this man?
Dr. Rap. Yeah, in a true, Rocky, getting strong now, montage, thing, he got rid of all the classical records. He got rid of the Bach, got rid of the Chopin, got some NWA, some Run DMC, and...
Oh, shit.
But you know what? He lived in the West Coast. He liked the East Coast shit.
That's right.
KRS-One, in particular, was his jam. So,
the bridge is over. The bridge is over. Blah, blah.
He loved that shit. So, yeah, he started picking up a rhythm. He knew, he had a kid. His name is Scott. He's about 20, and he got into DJing, and he was doing gigs, and he's telling his dad, he's like, "You're just saying poems, Dad. You gotta
be real.
You gotta have beat. You gotta
Listen,
have beat
Dad,
to it.
If you're gonna be Dr. Rap, you gotta bring it down. You gotta put it down, Dad. What you say? You just reciting someone else's words, dead words, even ones you making up. You gotta say it a certain way, Dad."
But this became like a big thing for him, and he started going out at night, 10 o'clock at night till 3, 4 in the morning, hanging out in Crenshaw.
That's when the
rapping.
freaks come out. The freaks come out.
Freaks come out at night.
So yeah, he started going out at 10 at night, hanging out in Crenshaw with his new friends, rapping, doing all that fun stuff. And it paid off, much to his wife's chagrin, because she was worried about him.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Right. She thought he was an easy target, he was going to get robbed, he was going to, he stuck out. He did. He stuck out in that area. But he had cred. It paid off. It paid off because he did a set at the open mic one night. And he killed it. And KRS-One was in the audience. And KRS-One approached him, and they talked, and he said he was a fan. He admired his work, and KRS-One gave him his number and said, "Hey, let's hang out."
Ooh.
So
nice.
So they did. They hung out.
Maxed out street cred.
Totally now. I mean,
yeah.
Forget it. Dr. Rap, But they did hang out. They did hang out. They went over the fundamentals of rap, and he had him do the recite the Sugar Hill Gang. hip, hip, hippity hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know the lyrics really, but so he had him do that, and after a little bit, he kind of got it. He was, getting it down, getting his flow down, and then he got sued by another guy named Dr. Rapp, Dr. R-A-P, because our Dr. Rapp is Dr. R-A-P-P.
Right.
So was the other Dr. Rapp a rapper?
He was a rapper,
Mm-hmm.
but he was not a doctor.
So our Dr. Rapp
He's a doctor.
it would make sense for him to extend his name to rapper. The other guy, not so much. If you throw an ER on the end of his name, it's not going to pan out the same.
No.
No, the other dude would probably.
No, not at all.
Other dude was
No,
crapper.
definitely not.
Crapper.
Nice.
Sounds like he should have been a crapper.
I see where you're coming from there.
And I see where you're coming from, Kevin.
Thank you. I'm glad we see each other so well. It's probably all these nice lights.
And in like 2000, he sat on a panel with talking about violence in rap culture, and Ice-T was a panelist. And Ice-T had said that violence gets control. I'm paraphrasing. Violence gets control, peace gets nothing. And that led to Dr. Rapp speaking up, saying that, he was wrong, that, violence doesn't get you anywhere. And then they kind of just went back and forth. And I don't know, man, I could hear Ice. Man. Or no, that's more Cat Williams, but.
Oh, Ice-T?
Yeah, Ice-T, like, oh, shit, man.
Ah, shit, man, I ain't hearing
No,
that.
I see your Cat Williams again.
Well, again, you're Cat Williams first.
Well, I mean, he does have that high pitch, like, oh, shit, man. You're going to be talking shit like that to me, Dr. Rapp. Who the hell you be, like, and then.
Hell nah.
No, that's Will Smith from Independence Day. That's after he punches the alien, the big rubber alien, a few times.
That was a real
Martin
alien.
Lawrence
Excuse
was
me. That was historical drama.
That was
I forgot how old Kevin was during that time. So, like, Men in Black in that movie were definitely real to him.
Independence Day was
4, 5?
94. 94 sounds about right. So that would have made you about 5 or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he believed it. He believed those aliens were real.
Yeah, I'm relatively sure I actually saw that movie in theaters, and that was pretty real for me, so.
He was watching
Felt
that
real.
shit, gripping his pickle. Here, take your dill pickle.
So, yeah, some places have the wrapped pickles
Yeah.
in the parchment paper, and the whitefish.
I leave mine unwrapped.
No. I'm not thinking the parchment paper ones. I'm thinking of ones where it's like the plastic boats that had the liquid in there.
Oh,
The single
right.
pickle.
And then
Nice.
they're all bumpy
Yeah.
because they're unwrapped.
Nice. That's how I like it, raw.
And bumpy.
So he did keep the Dr. Rapp name because it wasn't really a suit. He was a doctor. He can call himself Dr. Rapp, R-A-P-P, whatever. Yeah, he kept his cred. He's Dr. Rapp. Everybody knows he's Dr. Rapp now. And he continued to do this for quite a while. He didn't really get any fame, though, because that's not what he was there for. He was there for the therapeutic aspects and to feel cured. Yeah,
Right.
that's how he felt when he rapped.
Yeah, he's not trying to blow up. He's just trying to feel good.
Right.
And that's cool because sorry. That's cool because, he didn't have any intention of doing that and it just happened.
Right.
The other people that intend to want to do it to be superstars and
Well, his life was altered unexpectedly beyond his control, but it was at a point, he got another gift in turn, that
one door
made
closed.
his struggle hard, less difficult. But yeah, it took a financial toll again because he stopped working. He stopped doing the shifts. He stopped doing all that. He started just doing rap all the time, and he was like borrowing bus money from the kids, and out in near the chaos, and So I mean, and they're helping him out, and eventually. All the good times, they caught up to him because it was a really hot night, and he was busting a lot of rhymes that night. His voice was really hoarse, and then he just collapsed, and he had another seizure, which kind of made him regress a little bit. His speech patterns got worse, But he used Rapp again to exercise that,
Still helped him?
and it still helped him.
Nice.
Like Jeff Garland. Do you know who Jeff Garland is? The actor Jeff Garland. He's in
Curb Your Enthusiasm
right.
and stuff. Yeah,
He
And the
plays
Goldbergs.
his Larry David's manager.
Yeah.
He had a stroke. He had a horrible stroke, and he
When?
a couple of years ago. And he could barely speak, but he started doing script readings because that's what he was comfortable with, and that brought him back into the acting again.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
I like him.
Nice.
Yeah, so do I. love him
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Love him.
But that, just something that helps, I guess some people, Dr. Rapp's case, this was kind of a foreign thing. He wasn't a poet, but he kind of came back, and he never did make the album with KRS-One.
It's unfortunate.
But he continued to show up to Project Blowed until he passed from cancer March 29th of 2013. And Project Blowed still happens to this day. And Lemaire is still one of the more culture-rich areas in the United States. And Hershfield's reputation as a person with the courage and open mind enough to face his challenges head on are still recognized at Project Blowed. But if you're rhyming sloppy, you're still going to get booed off stage. So that was an Atlantic article from Jeff Maish about Dr. Rapp.
So he was rapping out there for like 20 years almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
And for the story to just come out recently,
right.
and now
Right.
and now Netflix.
Yeah. There's a documentary talks now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Now, that's strokes that could happen. That article mentions another person who became like a musical virtuoso after a stroke. But sometimes you get like Dr. Rapp's former work. He dealt with people who had brain injuries, and they're finding something now that people use to go to sleep. Zolpidem or Ambien. They use that to go to sleep. You go to sleep, or I guess who was addicted to that? Wasn't it like Puffy, right? Puffy Combs was addicted to Ambien.
Eminem used to do it a lot.
Or was it Eminem? It was
Yeah.
Eminem, right?
He said he wasted like 4 years of his life. He couldn't
Yeah.
remember any of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you can take Ambien and keep yourself awake, and you'll experience. Some people use it for sex. Some people just use it to kind of trip out. Because I took half of one once and couldn't fall asleep regardless, and then the walls were breathing. It was that kind of effect. And I didn't know what the fuck was really happening, but I was aware of a lot of it because I didn't take the full dose.
That was your brain saying, like, I want to sleep.
Go to sleep. Stop thinking about shit, you moron. But they're finding now that Zolpidem is it's beneficial in other ways. There's a case of a gentleman who got his brain damaged from a truck injury, and if I remember, I'm going by the NIH article that I read, but I did see a brief little Vice thing about it, and I believe they're talking about the same guy. His mother was taking care of him, and he was restless at night. His body was restless. Even they said he was in a vegetative state. He had no brain functions at all.
Jeez.
He's brain dead.
Yeah.
But he was alive enough. They kept him alive, and it's a good thing they did because he was restless, and she didn't really give him medication other than when he needed to survive, but she gave him some Ambien to put him to sleep. And the next morning, he was like murmuring, kind of making noises. He was like awake. He was cognitive. He was awake. He was,
Wow.
still severely impaired, but he was recognizing his parents. He was, trying to verbalize, and this was all from, the single dose of Zolpidem. And this has happened multiple times in this case study. It's really determinant on, what parts of the brains are part of the brain is damaged.
Right.
So far, they're seeing.
Yeah, it can't be the brainstem. Brainstem, if it's the brainstem injury, it doesn't.
Right,
help
and
them.
No luck. There's not much.
Unfortunately, generally, it's not nothing's coming back from a brainstem injury generally.
Right.
But I believe there's a movie or there's an actual case study where they used L-Dopa on patients that were kind of in like that catatonic state. They made a movie, Awakenings, with Robert De Niro in the L-Dopa trials.
Wasn't it Robin Williams?
Was it Robin Williams and Robert De Niro?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, that sounds like
right.
that sounds like
if
a
I
good
remember,
line.
I think it was De Niro was the patient.
Right.
Robin Williams was the physician.
Right. And there's another film, Charlie. I know that's where the guy got smart, right? So
Yeah, that was Cliff Robertson.
right. And then he went back to his semi-catatonic state.
Yeah, the what was it? Flowers for
Algernon.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys talking about that Charlie episode of Always Sunny. I see what's going on here. Where they trick him into thinking he's really smart.
To me, they're always Charlie episodes. That's how I look at it. It's always Sunny. So.
Uncle Ben.
But even stranger, though, with Zolpidem, with Ambien, is the case of Thomas Rowe, or he's also known as Tom Cassidy. He's a voice actor he's done a number of commercials. You've probably...
Was he a voice actor before?
He was a voice actor before, and he had his wisdom teeth taken out. Now, I went to go get my wisdom teeth taken out once, and they told me, because my my doctor, my oral surgeon, he wasn't really a nice guy. He just had a really shitty bedside manner, and he's like, well, you could die during the anesthesia. You could get facial paralysis, or just have complete numbness in your mouth for the rest of your life.
Oh.
I was like, oh, wow.
What a nice fella.
I was like, all of those at once, too? He's like, well, yes, that could happen. I was like, wow. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Oh.
It's a world of possibilities. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely not doing that.
So, wait, did you get your wisdom teeth out at all?
No, I still have them.
Oh, wow.
I still have them.
That's probably why you're so wise.
Maybe. Or just angry because sometimes, they crowd and hurt.
Party's too hopping in there.
Always. So, yeah, he had a pretty lucrative career. He voiceover work, had his wisdom teeth out. He didn't die. He probably wished he did at this point, but he got some severe nerve damage, which caused the muscles in his face to constrict and pull all the tendons, all the muscles up, and it made his mouth go up.
What,
And
like
it's-
the Joker?
Yeah, that's what it sounds
No,
like.
no, worse. Like, think you're sucking your mouth in, and
Oh, man.
it's going in, sucking in, pushing back. This is how he's describing it in the video.
Oh.
And, like, his neck, his cheeks, his jaw, everything. And when you see this poor man, his tongue's hanging out, because that's how, and so...
Damn.
And he could barely speak, and his career, it's ruined his whole career. I mean,
Right, yeah.
that's his livelihood. But he started taking Ambien because he couldn't sleep, because this is it's a horrible malady. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I imagine
function.
it's hard to sleep like that.
Sleep, eat, talk, anything. But he couldn't sleep even with the Ambien. And he went downstairs and had his phone, but he started realizing he could talk. He could speak like almost perfectly again, like he had never had this damage.
Wow.
So, like little John coming down from being really high.
Pretty much, right? Yeah, he could hear everything. Yeah, I hear that.
Dee Dee's awake.
He's awake. So yeah, there's a video. He made a video on YouTube and posted and shared it where he was actually ridiculing his dilemma. He's like, oh, I talk like this, and he's blah 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 blah. And he's like, but now I can speak. I'm talking, and and then it's just an incredible thing. And there was that Vice video where they show, and they ask him to read a script, and he does, and he can't. This is before the Ambien. His face is way too constricted, and then he takes the Ambien and forces himself awake because he I don't remember if he said he does it often, because it's kind of hard to stay awake on this stuff. It's pretty strong medicine.
Yeah.
But he showed them, he stayed up, read the script nearly perfectly.
Wow.
He's doing the strong voice, he was doing like a car sale commercial, and...
So what was the word he fucked up on? Sassafras? Sasquatch?
Yeah, the Ford Sassafras.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No. He didn't even like. It was just timing that because it's still it's still there. He still has it,
right?
And but even with the relaxation that the Ambien gives him. It's the timing's still off because it's out of practice.
The Ford Sassafras is discontinued,
right? And you still drive one though, Lee.
Teddy Sassafras.
Like I don't even know how you got like a two-tone pink and lime green, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh my God!
To each their own, baby.
And the cardboard fishtails we really got to talk about though. It's just
fish gills.
Yeah, it looks like those Harlequin cars they were doing there for a little while.
Poof.
Stick a penny in it and it'll flip up.
Oh man, I used to have the Dukes of Hazzard one. With the set, they had the little barn.
I was gonna say, like, how did your dad let you buy Dixie flag shit, man?
See, when I was a kid, my cousin and I are in the living room playing with it, and he comes over, he's like, "You know what that means on top of the car?" Well, you know what that means? And we're little kids, and we're like, we didn't know. He just walks away.
He didn't even tell you?
Didn't tell you.
Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself, son.
Find out in the next episode.
Away. And I think of it, then I look back, I'm like, God damn, I'm here watching fucking Dukes of Hazzard, Confederate flag all on that shit. Why can't they open those doors? Why the fuck won't the doors open?
Like what? Right? Why don't they open the door? Like, why didn't your dad just step on the thing? Just be like, that's what it means.
Because they destroyed that car in like every episode, and it was always back.
And they never fixed the doors because I think it's because it was a racing car. Because racing cars do no doors,
right? Oh yeah, right. Lighter.
Got to be more aerodynamic.
Yeah. Well, I did read something recently about that where there was like a shortage of the 78 to 79 Pontiacs. Because they were just crashing the shit out of them every episode.
Yeah, they destroyed so many they couldn't find them anymore. They just had to start buying them off people on the streets.
Is that Lee Noble's car there that you're showing me?
This is the Volkswagen Golf Harlequin I was referring to.
Ah, yes, that's beautiful. Yeah,
this was a legitimate car that they sold.
That looks like an African car.
I was gonna say no. It looks like it looks like a pair of cross-colored pants.
Yeah, they're just. They're not even all the same color. They just put random color schemes together, whatever.
Wow, it's like a Lego. It's like
That's exactly what it looks like when you didn't have enough Legos to finish
you're trying to build the wall, and you're like, oh, crap, I only got, like, blue and red left on my white wall, damn it.
First thing I think of is a Yugo.
Oh, it does look like Yugo.
Yeah, Yugo not too far.
I don't know. Hold on, how do I spell that?
Yugo?
Yeah.
Y-U-G-O, like Yugoslavia.
Okay. I don't know if you were saying Hugo with an accent.
Oh, no.
It looks like it.
I think they're going to start doing some more, clinical stuff with Ambien now. Luckily, it's not a Class A or anything like marijuana or psilocybin.
It won't ruin your life like marijuana.
Right, that gateway shit. Puff that gateway shit. Next day, you're fucking killing your mom for crack.
Yeah,
you know what it's a gateway to. It's a gateway to relaxation and chilling. That's what it's a gateway to.
It's a gateway to snacks.
And having some snacks. Yeah, but you don't want to, Yeah.
Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster. Biggest stoner of all the puppets.
Not anymore. He went on a diet.
Oh, that's right. He went to like veggie.
Oscar the Grouch was clam bacon.
Now cookies are sometimes food.
But I hope that this is like the science fiction stuff I think of is like the drug that's always been there, but it has this secret property, that gets uncovered. And this kind of what this is doing. It's opened up like neural pathways that were normally thought to be damaged or non-existent after an injury. Mm-hmm. And now we're seeing, people coming out from comas. We're seeing people coming back from nerve damage even.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is going to make such a good Chumbawamba montage.
Is that
yeah? But you get back up again.
But you'll never get knocked down if you take this Zolpidem derivative. You'll be up forever. Oh, it could be like that X-Files where that guy could never sleep.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
I don't know. I think I kind of like it.
You got to be able to sleep, man. No,
I'd be dead from fucking coffee overdose because that's all I'd be doing all day. Is like, oh shit, I'm awake. I'll just make some more coffee. Oh,
yeah.
Oh shit, I'm still awake.
Still awake. More coffee.
Right.
Cocaine.
Heart blew up. Well, yeah.
Got him.
So yeah, maybe we'll see in the future that Ambien is something that has always been there for us to wake people out of comas or, restore some previously thought to never be restored function in people who are damage their brains or nerves.
That's so wild,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought anything like Ambien would be worth anything more than a sleeping drug.
Right. I wonder if they can isolate like the healing-y part of it.
Right. That's what they seem to be looking into now.
Huh. Well, they have to find what component is doing it, right?
Is it the Zol?
Is
it
the
Pidime?
Chemical X?
Yes. We could get Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, nice.
It is Particle Musk 42069.
Oh, is that named after Elon Musk?
No.
No relation.
No relation.
Some other rocket man. On that note, my Ambien's starting to kick in because I took 2 before I got here today.
Ooh, sounds like you got yourself 2 tickets to paradise there.
Well, what?
I took 2 once the alarm went off when I woke up this morning.
Oh. Wait, you took them as soon as you got up?
Yep.
That's power move.
Do you remember your work day? That's great. You don't remember the work day.
I don't remember the frustrations I went through with these idiots.
like I had like 6 arguments. I didn't even remember. I'm good.
Sounds like you won.
Yes, Lee, you were yelling in the corner. You're just yelling at the water cooler.
I'm yelling in the corner. I'm punching the wall.
I'm Dr.
with
Rapp.
My fucking forehead.
Security's escorting me out of the building.
But at the same time, they're saying, good job. Wish I could have done the same thing.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to everyone. Catch us online. www.weirdandweary.com. Twitter, Instagram. Catch us all on those places. On the web. Wherever people do things on the web.
Yeah, we're well connected on the spider web.
On the spider web
technology.
Of spider eggs and the spider web of the web of the... I can't rap. I'll never rap.
You nailed it.
JKL Media.
Jekyll.